Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu and I'm bringing out this video of me talking about a board game, and today, I guess this is a part of the small box big game. I don't know, we'll see. This might be CulBlu and cardboard. This box might be a little bit too big. But at any rate, this is me talking about a board game, and today I'm talking about SkyTeam. It's a game that's been out for a good little while, has an expansion and everything, which I have in here, but I'm just gonna give my review, my feelings, and my flavor, my tastes, if you will, on this game. So let me go ahead and start playing our background music here because I like background music, so apologies if you don't. I will apologize every time for some reason. But as far as SkyTeam goes, SkyTeam is a two-player game where you are essentially trying to manage your various arenas to cooperatively, without communicating directly at the time of decision, to cooperatively land a plane. So you have to do things like call off planes and get them out of the way. You have to do things like place your die to open your landing gear. There's different modules that you can add to kind of give more flair or more variety and more challenge, if you will, to what's going on. And as far as everything goes in the game, it is it's very fun. Like I've enjoyed my experience with this, and this game is so cool, in fact, that people have released solo variants of the game. And I actually did a playthrough of the solo variant, so feel free to check that out if you want to. So let's go ahead and open up the box. This is not an unboxing, but what's in the box essentially just got the rules, the shields that you have to use. I'm not the biggest fan of games where you have to use a shield of some sort to obscure information. It feels very not great to have to like hide some stuff, and then with the shield it kind of sucks and it falls apart and you don't have space in there. But this is plenty of space to hold your die. And I actually have found in the few games that I've played with a friend on this one, I found many a times that when the person rolls, what they'll do is they'll kind of like shoot the dice in there, so to speak, like that. And it holds up pretty well. I think it's a pretty well designed shield, and it does, I mean, it has the play down here in a reasonable spot instead of up here where it's hard to see things. So I do appreciate that they put it down here. So yeah, so this is a really cool design, and I commend them for the shield, even though I don't personally like games we have to have hidden information like that, but I understand the reasons why. It's a small game, it's not that big of a deal. The dice are pretty good, they're engraved. As far as everything inside the box here, I have the expansion, so I don't know which ones modules that came with the base game or which ones are expansions that came with the Turbulence expansion, so my apologies ahead of time for not being able to articulate which one's which, but the rule book will definitely be able to tell some information. So I know I just kind of made a mess here on the table, but got a nice little Turbulence expansion here, and a whole bunch of different things. And that's another thing I think I like about this game too, is that there's a lot of variety to this game. Like there's a lot of different altitude markers that you can use here for the different variants, and these are the locations that you'll be trying to fly to and land on. And there's also a lot of variety with the modules themselves. So everyone is double-sided. So for instance, this is the other side of the Montreal Trudeau. Are the same? Oh, I lied. This one's the same on both sides. Huh. I don't think I've ever noticed that. This one's the base one that you play with. This is like your first like tutorial, like how does this game work? That's the one that you play with. These other ones have different airports that they're referencing here. So Cape T and Gig or Jig. Oh, sorry, I just got a message there on my phone or my little watch there. And like I said, they're double-sided, so on the other side there's a different location, and they also have a color coding. So yellow's kind of a medium, green is easy, and then red is hard, and black is very difficult. But they have different challenges inside of here that correspond to the modules. So like for this one, for instance, you're not allowed to have your plane pitched in certain directions, and you got some black cubes you got to deal with. I don't know what those do, but it exists. The module talks about it and explains it, and I think this might be for the Turbulence one. That's my assumption, because Turbulence will make sense if it's messing with how far you can tilt your plane left or right. There's also some ones that deal with the weather. There's ones in here that deal with the different modules, like penguins. Apparently there's penguins on the runway, and you got to make sure you clear the penguins too. I don't know how that works. There's one with alerts that do different things. Again, there's a whole bunch of different modules. And the modules here, they have different components that they go with. So I think this one's for your fuel, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Like I think you have to like dump your fuel before you can land or something, but you can't dump it too soon. This one is for how the wind is blowing and what direction the wind's going. This one is for defrosting I'm just assuming that because it has like little frost symbols here and some extra stuff that goes over the main player board. So if I bring out the main player board here, and I would like to say that I'm saying some of this stuff without having ever played the base game, or sorry, the modules here. So please do take this with a grain of salt. And I think this goes here, like so, because it looks like it lines up right there. And yeah, so these, yeah, they replace the blues that you have there. So you need 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is for your brakes, and which seems to be a little bit more difficult to land, which is cool. And there's some extra stuff here. I don't know what that's all about, but there's that exists. So whatever that is, I guess maybe it's saying that in order for you to reduce the red, you have to put the pilot has to put a die here, and then the pilot or the co-pilot has to put one here to kind of move the thing because it's stuck. I don't know, it's a lot of cool concepts, and I really do like it. I do appreciate like they're kind of taking the play space that they have here, and they're adding other modules, things that kind of add on directly to the actual dashboard that you start with, because you can see the lines, and again, the design language on this game is pretty nice. So it's all line up and it's all kind of straightforward and it makes sense. I guess this doesn't attach to anything, you just kind of plop it over here. But yeah, that's like your full module if you're playing with everything that's inside of the game. And I don't even know if you can play with every single module at the same time. But one could assume that you could. So one could assume that you could. But yeah, that's it. So, oh, sorry, that's not it. So my overall feelings, I like this game a lot. I think I said it a few times already. This is gonna be a pretty short review apparently because I don't have a ton to say negative about this game. It is a little fiddly on the setup, but overall that's kind of, you know, forgivable because the game is so straightforward. The game is so simple. It is easy to teach. I think I have played this game with my mom. I don't know if I have, but I may have, and I'm using my mom as an analogy for a person who doesn't play a lot of board games, but definitely has played Clans of Caledonia with me, so it's not like she's a slouch when it comes to board games. But this game is pretty easy to go through. And also, to clarify, my mom and some of my family members, we played Clans of Caledonia, 3-player game, and, well, I guess it wasn't some, it was one other family member. We played a 3-player game, and my mom got second place, giving me a run for my money. I won, because, you know, of course, I did, because I was the more experienced person at the table. But yeah, anyway, going back into Sky Teams, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy to actually get taught and or teach. And you know, there's a bunch of modules to kind of add some complexity for those who are veterans that want to return and have a little more variety. Again, I am in awe of all the variety. I should one day sit down and actually play through some of the modules and kind of get a feel for them, kind of see what they add and see if I like it. I think there are, let's see. I think there are some special rules that you would use in certain ones. Yeah, so it looks like in this one, there's some special rules for the scenario that you would actually change how some of the things are. I see the tiles over here. So I guess these go, oh, these are your alerts. I see, okay, right. Cool. But overall, I mean, it's pretty neat. It gives you like different scenarios and different things to go through. And I don't really want to call it a campaign, but the modules in the flight log, they have some additional explanations and some additional setups that you do. So if you want to use the kerosene module, it says manage your fuel and land your plane before going dry. Cool. There's some approach track effects to use the die for. The black die, I should say. There's ice breaks, kerosene leak, real time. Oh, you can play the game in real time? Okay. At the beginning of each round, start a 60-second timer. Use your phone immediately after rolling die. You cannot place die after the timer runs out. Okay, so it kind of puts a little time pressure on. There's wind that will blow your plane around, and it gives like different scenario setups and things you can do. Again, there's a lot of variety for this game, and I don't think this game is that expensive. I think this game is like maybe $25, so I guess it's not nothing, but it's about $25, and the expansion itself is maybe $15 to $20. So I think this is a really good value, really good 2-player game, especially if you like games with a lot more pressure, a lot more stakes, a lot more, you know, kind of raise the stakes as you go along, and a lot of variability. You can play a very easy, straightforward game, similar to the one that I did in my playthrough, or you can play a much harder, much more difficult game by adding in the modules, adding in the challenges, adding in the restrictions, and things that you got to manage, and just kind of have fun with that. So yeah, so that's going to be pretty much it. There's not really much else to say. Like I said, I like this game quite a bit. It is a game that I'm very happy to have, and why is there's a gnat on my, sorry, you didn't see that. I like this game quite a bit, and I hope this video is useful for those who are looking to possibly get in the game. So that's going to be it for this video. I don't really have anything else to add. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you all whenever.